Only 3 rounds left and just 3 points separate the top 3 positions. This is the 2009 FIA Production World Rally Championship, or PWRC. Welcome to round 6 and the business end of the competition. For it, we're home to the toughest event on the calendar, the car-busting rocks, otherwise known as the Acropolis Rally of Greece. Coming up in the programme, we'll have all 3 days action as these 16 national stars take on the heat and gravel with amazingly near standard road cars. Greece is a beautiful place to visit, and it's the pinnacle test of endurance for the drivers, with temperatures well into the 30s as we caught up with the top 3 in the championship. Nasser Al-Attiyah going for 3 wins in a row.
It's the key of the championship, you know, but it will be very tough, not easy, because sometimes really if you hit a big rock, you know, and you know the group and it's not strong enough, and you can bend a lot of things in the car, but we came here for win the race.
It's very rough, but me, Sandel and Nasser, we are very tight in the points, and we need push. I think all the drivers will push to win and to pass to the front of the championship, and I want pass for the front of championship again. I will push, and I hope arrive in the end of the rally.
Sandel will also be keen to get back to winning ways, having missed out by 1.5 seconds in a real nail-biter last round in Sardinia.
It was a really good rally, and it's always things you can optimize during a weekend like that, and in the end to be beaten by 1.5 seconds, okay, not so good, but we had a perfect rally, and we were 1.5 seconds away from winning our 3rd victory this year, so it was a good rally. So if we can have this one same as that one, it will be good.
The top 3 are separated by that small 3-point margin, although potential winners here go down to the whole 16-strong pack. 4th place Brynildsen hasn't entered Greece. All drivers must select 6 of the 8 rounds as point-scoring events. Tosh Uriah, past Acropolis winner. Martin Prokop and Patrick Flodin have shown awesome pace so far this season. And the local of Lambros Athanassoulas could spoil the regulars' fun to name but a few potential winners, and the local thinks it'll be a hot one.
There's nothing compared to what the heat is inside the car. I think it can go up to 60 degrees in 37 degrees outside, could go to 55, 60 degrees in the car. So it's really make you exhausted.
Day 1 in the PWRC, and 119 kilometres was the revised distance with 5 stages. A remote service was all they were allowed after the 2nd repeated stage of Thiva. Stage 3 was cancelled before the event. The first 2 stages gave us an idea of what sort of times the field were going to generate, and it was certainly close. Championship leader Nasser Al-Attiyah was first on the piste and set the benchmark. With 2 wins in a row, Nasser certainly has the confidence to attack the rough terrain. The Subaru does have a weakness in the steering arm bending, which is not the sort of thing you need at the toughest event of the year. Nasser was 3rd fastest, and the Qataris in Impreza held strong. Equally strong was the Mitsubishi of Armindo Araujo. Fastest through stage 1, the Portuguese, who lies 2nd in the championship, changed his setup after the initial stage, costing him the lead, and he dropped behind Al-Attiyah. Patrick Sandel was initially stuck in road mode, losing him time, but by stage 2, his Skoda S2000 was back to speed, which got the Swede ahead of Al-Attiyah and Araujo. Two times PWRC champion Tosh Uriah made it 4 drivers gunning for the lead. The Japanese driver back to his near best. Martin Prokop, though, was not on his best form. 26-year-old Czech made a strategy error by putting too many spare parts for the day into his Mitsubishi, making him 150 kilos heavier than the other group ends, and Martin was off his usual pace. One surprise in the PWRC was the guest entrant Lambros Athanassoulas. He joined the top 4 first overall. Not bad considering he'd only tested his Skoda once. Athanassoulas' lead was just 0.7 seconds and the top 5 separated by just 4.4. As the third stage was cancelled, the PWRC headed towards stage 4 and a remote service. A chance for the teams to tinker with the cars and the drivers and co-drivers to cool down for 15 minutes. So far, so good for Lambros.
It would be very difficult to keep all these fast guys back in these stages. They're really fast and I don't know the car yet. It's my first time that I'm driving and it's my first rally after last year's Acropolis rally. So in the fast stage, they should be faster.
First stage we had some problem because it was not possible to switch the car into stage mode, so we were going over the whole stage with the mapping for the road mode, so we didn't really have the power. In the hairpins it was quite okay, but when it was fast in the middle I didn't really feel the power. But on the second stage everything worked again, so it's been a good morning.
The afternoon on day 1 comprised of 3 stages and a distance of around 90 kilometres. The sun was beating down, roasting the land, and whoever got in its way. Patrick Flodin was, like Prokop, having a bad day. The Swede couldn't get his Subaru to grip the gravel, suffering understeer and oversteer, a driver's nightmare, sliding the 24-year-old to 8th. Fully aspirated Super 2000 Fiat of Bernardo Sousa was 1 place better. The Portuguese 22-year-old has retired from all 3 of his events so far, so will look to finish this atrocious event. Dodging an idiot in the road, Toshi Arai's afternoon was okay. A high-temperatured Impreza in the afternoon caused him to back off and lose touch to the leaders. Armindo Araujo's aim was to get advantage over Sandel and Alatir for the championship. He pushed his Mitsubishi hard, bumping over the rocks. At the end of the penultimate stage, Armindo was ahead of Alatir. NASA responded and on the final pass took 3rd position back. This moment bent his steering arm. Even so, he was still the stage winner. He'll show us more about the Subaru's weakest part of the car at the end of the day.
Left 3 minus. Fly finish. 50 right 3.
Patrick Sandel, with a solid steering arm built for racing, could attack the stage, and he stayed in touch with the lead in 2nd place. Lambros Athanassoulas with an identical Skoda was out in front. Representing his hometown, the 32-year-old extended his advantage to end day 1, 8.2 seconds fastest. An emotional time for Team Greece. Lambros leads the PWRC.
I can't say anything. I think it's a dream come true for me, for my team, for Ludraki, for the mayor, for everybody. I don't have words, sorry.
Day 1 completed and still a long way to survive. A 1-2 for Skoda with NASA and Armindo Araujo not far behind. Welcome back to the 2nd day of 3 here at the Acropolis Rally for the Production World Rally Championship. The crowds were all ready to watch their local Lambros Athanassoulas take to the stage. Day 2 comprised of 3 repeated stages at a total of 135 car-destroying kilometres, last seen in the 1980s, with a midday service in between. After day 1, the PWRC had Athanassoulas first, with the top 3 in the championship close behind. The morning's 3 stages had its drama too. Athanassoulas was first out. Cheer up, lads. Obviously full of concentration, wanting to do well on their home event, and for the locals packing the stages too. With the setup homed in to the second day, Lambros' Skoda became an extension of his body and put the S2000 wherever he wanted, setting a hat-trick of stage wins too. Not so for Patrick Sandell. They're obviously not happy about something. Away they go, but the Fabia S2000 sounding like it's misfiring. Yeah, that's a 6 Skoda. And the boys are in discussions again. Trying to make sense of the problem. Disaster for the Swedes and their championship hopes.
Du kan inte på sig på vad heter det? Det ställer road mode.
The Greek fans come to their rescue, but 25 minutes is lost. A car with half its cylinders and one desperate to get to service. Nasser Al-Attiyah restored relative calm to day 2, and a promotion over Sandell meant the Qatari would extend his lead in the championship if things remained the same. A few knocks through the narrow sections bent his steering arm once again, losing him time to the leader and open to attack from third place Araujo. Nasser needn't have worried too much. Armindo was attacking. But too wide on some sections in the morning. That lessened his impression on the Qatari. The Portuguese pairing made it to service in one piece though. Araujo's flamboyance meant Toshi Arai began to nibble at his third place. The Japanese made it past Armindo on stage 8, but was soon back to 4th by the final stage of the morning. So, still out in front was local star Athanassoulas, extending his lead to 50 seconds, and a wonderful reception awaited him as the PWRC headed back to service.
Yeah, it's incredible. We made the changes during the last service in the night yesterday, and we thought that maybe we would spoil the car, but we didn't have anything to lose. We're not competing for the championship, we're just having fun. And actually, I was right. The changes that we made are quite good. The setup now is perfect for me, for my way of driving, and we can go very fast, very easily.
Service is a crucial time for the cars, especially here in Greece. Sandell kindly talked us through his frantic 30 minutes.
The problem with Daniel was that it started going on 3 cylinders, and we don't really know why, but that we're gonna try to find out now. It's 5 people allowed to work on the car, so you have 1 on each wheel, and then you have the car chief that is a little bit everywhere. Yeah, the car chief is also the one that gives the instructions to the other mechanics. So if I have an ID or something that we have to change, I talk to the chief engineer, that is Dietmar, and Dietmar talks to the car chief, and the car chief tells the one that should do it to do it. Should we go back to that setup we had when we were on those springs the last time? Was that Cyprus? Or is this okay? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think they managed to fix the engine now, so everything should be okay. And also we changed the springs to harder ones to avoid problem now this afternoon, and new tires and cleaning, so now we're ready to go.
An amazing feat achieved by all the mechanics from every team at service as the cars headed out to the afternoon stages. Time for the Skoda boys to have a well-earned rest. A comfortable 50-second lead for Lambros, and Al-Attiyah's threat is now from just Armindo and Arai. Stages 10 and 11 were still beating a lot of the competitors. Gabor Mayer lost out to a ditch, and the Hungarian was out. Frederic Sauvin ripped off a wheel on stage 11 and retired, the Frenchman normally getting into the points. By stage 11, Athanassoulas' 50-second lead was cut down to 30 by Araujo, and Nasser not far behind. The 24-kilometre stage of Kefalari was last for the day. Patrick Sandel got his Skoda back singing. Credit to the boys at service. All he could rely on now was a mistake from the others to get him championship points. Athanassoulas' lead, it turned out, was being cut as the local was suffering the same as Sandel's earlier engine problem. But unlike Patrick, Lambros got to the end of the stage and nursed his car to service. No need to give Alatir any excuse to attack, and the Qatari certainly did, knocking his rear bonnet loose in the process. Coming into the end of stage 12, and Lambros' time there is the one to beat.
40. Left 2 into right 2.
Yes, he's easily done it. We have a new leader at the Acropolis.
Because the cars play a lot, you know.
I know.
Armindo Araujo won't want to be 2 places away from his rival, so he's on all attack mode too. Armindo's Mitsubishi took plenty of knocks through the afternoon, chief amongst them being bent rear suspension. Despite that, can he pass Athanassoulas too? Into the final kilometres of the day. No, 1.1 seconds off the local. Araujo slips down to 3rd. So it's all changed then. Alatir leading, but just 9.9 seconds separate the top 3 with Sandel out of the points. What a day 3 we have in store. Plenty for Athanassoulas' team to do at the final service as well.
After the second split, as you can see, we started losing a lot of time because the car is misfiring. It's something electrical like Sandel's car maybe. And we used only first and second gear from half the second stage and the third stage of the loop. So we lost our lead. Now we are 8 seconds back. We'll try tomorrow. If the car can be fixed, we have time.
We are leading, and but tomorrow's will be very, very difficult in 30K. It's not easy, but if we can win, I will go for win Acropolis Rally.
Very tough day. We push the maximum all the stages. We destroy the car completely. We destroy all the arms in the car. The car is completely destroyed. But okay, the championship here is the big question. But tomorrow is another day. I'm here to fight. Now in the next service I will put the car again completely new, and tomorrow big fight again.
The 3rd and final day for the PWRC in this 6th round, and with all cars fixed they took on 95 kilometres and 5 stages, which included the longest Agi Theodori pass. Further down the field, the regulars such as Gianluca Linari made it to the end in 11th. Such as Sauvan and Sandel were behind him. Spiros Pavlidis did one better and was crowned leader of the, shall we say, gentleman drivers. Bernardo Sousa was fighting to survive and in a battle with Latvian Andis Niksans. The Portuguese 22-year-old came out on top for 6th and scored his first championship point this season. The Arbath badge gets on the leaderboard at last. Toshi Arai managed to withstand Martin Prokop's pressure to finish a respectable 4th. Steering and heating issues hindering his rally. And it's back to the front 3 runners, and 10 seconds is all that separates them. Lambros Athanassoulas was the man with all the pace. He lives just 2 kilometres from the 3rd day stages, and it showed, blitzing past leader Alatir by stage 14. The 32-year-old has made his impression here, and he'll hope his sponsors see it favourably for a more regular drive in the World Championship. Armindo Araujo had a stinker of a setup for his Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9. With his car bottoming out, the Portuguese driver would have to make do with 3rd place, and now only Armindo and Evan Brynildsen can challenge Alatir in the championship. If things stay as they are, Alatir extends his lead in the PWRC to 4 points. Survival and 3rd place for Armindo.
Four points behind Nasser. Next round we will see. I will push, but okay, we are in the end of championship. I'm fighting good.
9.6 seconds was the gap Nasser Al-Attiyah had to make up to Athanassoulas on the final stage. So unsurprisingly, the Qatari pushed the final 33 kilometres on Agi Theodori. The times were identical by the halfway point, so wisely Nasser backed off and accepted a mini victory of second at the Acropolis and 8 points added to his championship campaign.
You'll take 8 points back and you'll take a very good lead going into the final.
End of Greece. It's been a fantastic fight between three of you, but it looks like it's going to be second.
In the split, always we are close together, but it's okay. I think 8 points, it's fantastic, and we're waiting if he's arrived or not.
Arrive he did, Nasser. The roaring Skoda withstood the pressure of the terrain, and Lambros Athanassoulas the pressure from all the regulars of the PWRC. Quickest of all and 8 stage wins, including the final of Agi Theodori. The local from Loutraki is winner on home turf. Congratulations to Lambros and co-driver Nikolaos Sakeos. Athanassoulas' result was also good enough for 1 World Championship point, and he gets 10 out of 10 here in the PWRC. The scenes say it all.
Lambros, words really aren't going to express how you feel now. You've won PWRC on your home rally.
I can't say anything, you know, it's a dream come true for me. I hope to find budget for next year. That's the only thing. I have to say a big thank you to everybody, all the sponsors, and everybody in my team who believe in me.
Great emotion to end the 2009 Acropolis Rally of Greece. A deserved maximum for Lambros, with Al-Attiyah and Araujo picking up the final podium spots. Araujo was the only one to hold on to Nasser's championship tail. Only he and Brynildsen can catch the Qatari now, as Evan can contest both Australia and Great Britain. Al-Attiyah extends his lead to 4 points. Back once again to the man of the moment. Athanassoulas was awarded the Abu Dhabi Spirit of the Rally for his determination throughout the 3 days and got the party started on the podium. The next event for the Production World Rally Championship is down under for the return of the Rally of Australia. But until Australia, it's goodbye from Loutraki and the Acropolis Rally.